Hello, everybody. Um, Welcome back to the podcast. Long time no see. It's definitely been a while, and so as always, just like to thank you for taking the time out of your lives to listen to me speak and interview some people. As always, we do have a special guest on today, that being Siddarth, and yeah, I won't really make any excuses for my tardiness. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. And we are live. Hello guys, welcome back. Okay, no, that's a weird intro. But basically I'm here today with a classmate and a good friend, Siddarth. Hello. How are you? Do you want to
Hello,
introduce yourself?
hello. My name is Siddarth Venoothanpalle. I'm in Livingston, New Jersey. Uh, I'm good friends with Samuel. I'm a big fan of his podcast as well, and I'm excited to do this talk with him.
Hmm. Okay. So we're both in 10th grade, right? We go to Livingston High School. Currently it is Chinese New Year. Did you take the day off or did you go to school today?
Yes, I took the opportunity to take the day off.
Excused
Um,
absence. Okay. Okay.
yeah, actually, it's pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure people that are not of Asian descent can't take the holiday off.
So you just took the day off, but I
Yeah.
mean, who's to decide that though? Whether or not you can and can't celebrate Chinese New Year?
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm also Asian, so I'm technically allowed to.
Okay, sure, sure. So
Yeah,
did you enjoy it? Did you rest? You sleep in? I mean, I heard a lot of people
yeah,
slept in, but
yeah. I slept in. It was amazing.
uh, basically another. Actually, it's more like a separated weekend. Did you
Hmm.
do anything productive today? Anything, or just slept in?
Mainly just outline phoner because I have a test in 2 days that I haven't studied for.
Do you want to give some background on that, or I mean, I can because I'm in the same class as, or not, or the same
Okay.
class, not the actual same class, but like same teacher and same subject, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're learning about the market revolution. Between the first half of the 18th century, not the 18th, not 19th century. Um, it's like a shift in transportation and communication, and also the introduction of the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, and for I don't know viewers that don't know or haven't guessed,
Yeah,
this is U.S. history. So yeah, we're currently going through um well, this is the end of the Monroe presidency, right? Or I guess like during the Monroe presidency, that era. Yeah, like
yeah.
1800s to 1840s ish.
Hmm.
Like yeah, Marco Rubio. Uh Anything interesting outlining Fona or is just pretty
It's
boring?
really boring,
Yeah.
but I still like outlining, so that's great.
Well, I mean, if you don't outline, you do bad in the test, so it's like
Yeah.
you kind of have to. But yeah. That take you a long time, or did you get it over with and then?
Um, it took me less time than expected, but still
Hmm.
a pretty long time because outline can be pretty difficult sometimes.
So, do you like history, or do you find
Yeah.
history difficult, or do you like, I don't know, maybe it's like really boring, but you still enjoy the subject? Or
Uh, it's interesting because before U.S. History 1, I wasn't a big history fan. I would just take like the CP version because I didn't particularly enjoy it. But like now, after taking the class with Mr. Cuneo, um, I I really love it. It's probably my favorite subject in class right now. So yeah, and I'm also looking forward to taking a push next year and completing my U.S. history education.
ah, I don't know. Maybe it's because yeah, I feel like the same as for me, except yeah,
Yeah.
I took honors last year. I'm taking honors this year, but regardless, the workload and like the expectations is still a pretty big jump or gap. I said. You feel that way or?
Yeah, it's much harder. I don't know why I was recommended for honors this year, but I'm here, so that's good.
So you're working through it? You grinding?
I'm grinding.
Fair enough, fair enough. So then, end of semester was, I believe, last week. So then the new
Yeah,
semester started this week. If you don't mind me asking, how are the results? Did your hard work pay off, or did you meet your expectations, or did you fall a little short?
I think I felt a little short. I was aiming for like an A minus or an A, and I only got like a B, and that was probably because I failed the first couple tests. But I still grinded my way. and got the B, but I'm gonna do better this semester for sure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, you also know what to expect, right? Because at the beginning of the year, I mean, for me at least, I'm talking from my own experience or personal experience, and you can let me know if you have the same thing or like the same experiences. But I don't know. I guess transitioning from online working, online learning, sorry, where you can basically, I don't know, you have all these resources at your hands, and that you don't have to put in as much work. Just because I feel like, at least for me, the workload was a little bit lighter, or not even a little bit, a lot bit lighter. And so yeah,
Yeah.
transitioning back, I feel like the first couple of months were a kind of struggle, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy myself. I managed to hit the A minus mark, but you know,
Yes, sir.
it was
I
definitely
saw.
a struggle. It was definitely a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so excited when I finally got it, cause our teacher curved us like 0.5% or whatever, like up to an A minus. So
Oh,
yeah, I was pretty happy.
yeah. I heard he did that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Initially, when I looked at the course, I didn't know how I was gonna like thoroughly know the whole context of like a 30-page chapter and
Yeah.
like know everything, but somehow I found a way to study and like learn the material effectively. So I'm pretty happy with that at least.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really good part of the course. I mean, not only do you learn history, you just learn basic, I guess, skills or studying skills. I don't know, I feel like
Yeah.
I've gotten better at managing my time and yeah, basically doing things quicker and more efficiently. I don't know, because we
Yeah.
had a paper and I left everything. Yeah, so we had a paper for the class, which we had maybe like a week and a break to do. And so I left it to like the last few days and yeah, that was a struggle, but I mean,
Yeah.
you grind and
That week was terrible.
yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Like,
I think I did pretty good on it, so
yeah.
I'm not complaining. Though my
Yeah.
sleep schedule was kind of
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was
It's unlucky.
you.
It's all good.
Yeah. I think you were up until 4 a.m.
Past that actually. That was when I messaged you. I was like, "You're still up?"
I
Did you go to sleep then or no?
did. I did. We'll go to sleep on. Like somehow I finished everything. I finished the paper by 11 p.m., but I still
Mm,
had so much other homework. I finished at like 3 a.m.
yeah.
So
So are you kind of overwhelmed now, or do you think you're still managing? Is it because for me, at least, I feel like I definitely have time. It's just I have bad time management. So I'll like sit down, waste a bunch of time, doing things that maybe aren't school related or
yeah.
educational, and then when it turns like 9, 10, maybe 11 sometimes, then I'll actually start my work, which is really bad, but I guess that's the
So
dynamic I'm stuck in right now.
yeah. Are we talking about like school in general or
I mean,
U.S. history?
yeah, sure, school in general. I mean, do you
Yeah.
think you can handle everything, or do you think you're a little bit?
Yeah. I think it's manageable. At least like right now, I'm used to like my routine and everything because I've done a semester of it. Um, but I'm not able to like finish everything like before like 8 p.m. So that's a struggle.
Hmm.
But it is what it is.
Is
So
that because of workload, or is it because you're doing other things, or like you have after school activities, or?
it's a mix of both. I think um my friends tell me that I'm not exactly like um effective with my time, so that's probably a reason why. Also, I'm doing a couple extracurriculars, so that also adds on to the workload.
Do you maybe want to share some of those extracurriculars? I don't know. I just want to get to
Oh,
know you as more like as a person, in
okay.
different aspects of your life. But I don't know.
So I'm the head of I'm head of the web dev club, and I'm also a mentor there. So basically, we're teaching we're teaching students how to uh, code and deploy a website by themselves. And if you guys are interested, we're having a meeting
Plug.
every Wednesday in Lancer time. So I'm kind of like promoting my own stuff right now, but I guess it's
Oh, it's all
fine.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And also, the other thing I'm in is Code Club. So I'm just a member, but I'm trying to get a leadership position. But right now we're coding something for CodeFest. It's a thing like they do every year. Um, we're trying to make an app that can calculate your grades and like save your grades, and it just makes everything easier.
what do you mean by
So
save your grades?
So like basically when you when you use a GPA calculator or
Yeah,
anything,
sure.
doesn't exactly like save your GPA when you come back.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to like do that except with like normal grades and stuff. So
Mhm.
like if you wanted to calculate your chem grade, like have you ever calculated your chem grade, for example,
Not for
with like
chem, but for other subjects, yeah.
yeah, but like when you're trying to calculate something weighted, it's like super inconvenient to like have to
Yeah.
add up every single grade
Hmm.
every single time. So we're trying to make that process. We're trying to like add your grades to some kind of database, and then every time you log onto the site, you can like change a grade to see what will happen, or like you can add grades to see if you can get that A minus or A, or if
Mm.
you can bump it up a letter grade.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that seems like I don't know. I feel like the fundamental idea there is a little bit. I don't want to say basic, but I feel like that's something that's definitely achievable. But I don't know. I feel like then the stuff surrounding that may be a little bit harder. Are you an avid coder? Do you love or like or do you enjoy doing stuff related to tech, or is that
yeah. I do enjoy doing stuff for tech. I wouldn't say I'm like the best coder ever, but I would say maybe I'm like a decent tier coder. Um, I can make like websites and like I can make it like actually usable. Uh,
languages?
Languages I know C, Python, Java, a little bit of JavaScript. I'm not great at JavaScript. HTML, CSS, the whole web dev package.
Well, you know a lot. I used to know
Yeah,
a lot back in my day, but I don't know. Somehow I managed to forget all of them. Like
yeah,
I learned them really quickly because I don't know. I feel like code is like you learn stuff, right? But then like halfway through, you just start checking databases. You know, how did I do this? And then you just copy paste code off the internet. I don't know.
yeah,
That was just me how I did it. But
yeah.
I,
Half coding is just searching up syntax from
yeah.
online. So yeah. Yeah, and that basically sums up my extracurriculars.
Hmm. Does that take a lot of time out of your day, or is it just something you do on the
Uh,
side, something you enjoy, or is it like the main
maybe
focus of your life right now?
it's not the main focus. I think maybe like a couple hours each day
Hmm.
would sum it up.
That's good. That's a good commitment.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess okay. So that has to do with your current setup, your current
Yeah.
routine. We just came off of course selection day, and
Mm-hmm.
so you kind of got like an idea of where you see yourself in the future. Could you kind of describe to me? Um, I guess we'll start more basic. What courses were you interested in? What courses did you choose? Anything that sparked or piqued your interest?
And yeah, so in terms of AP, I'm planning to take either AP Chem or AP Bio for science, AP Economics, uh, AP Language and Composition, AP Computer Science Principles, and I think that's it. So
So four APs.
yeah,
That's a good amount. I mean, it's like
yeah,
that's more than your average student, but yeah.
yeah.
Any APs this year or
APs this year, I'm taking AP Physics 1 and AP Computer Science Principles.
two APs? Ah, okay. Top student we have here.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't, no,
No, you
no,
wouldn't see yourself like that.
no. I could have been, but I messed up for the first semester. I was not prepared at all. So that was annoying. Yeah.
So, so you're telling me you basically didn't live up to your expectations?
No,
Not at all.
no.
What are your
It
expectations
was
then?
this A minus and A at
Okay.
least.
Yeah.
I would expect like A minus in like the humanities classes like ELA and social studies, and then like A's in science and everything else. I think that would be reasonable.
Hmm. That's pretty high standards.
Yeah. Uh,
Is that something you've kind of normalized yourself with? Something that you've like expected?
yeah, it's funny because like in eighth grade, I was like this troubled child who had no standards. I think in eighth grade, I actually wanted to be like a professional NBA basketball player,
Really?
like like the first Indian basketball player that would make it big, like the next LeBron James type material. Um, obviously that didn't work out. Uh,
Wait, so
mm,
do you think it was unrealistic, or did you actually like have the passion for the game, for the ball game?
I did have the passion for the ball game. Uh, so yeah, I would work at basketball for like hours each day, like at least 3 hours each day, and like just neglect school in eighth grade. And
Damn.
yeah, I had terrible grades in eighth grade, and I think once we hit quarantine, I really picked it up and got serious about my studies, and then the basketball dream kind of slowly faded away.
Uh, do you view that as a bad thing or a good thing?
Uh, I think it's a good thing because I don't think there was any chance with like my genetics and um like my South Asian genetics.
Okay, yeah,
I
sure.
wouldn't be able to realistically make it in the basketball world. So I think it's definitely a good thing that my head cleared up.
What changed? Maturity? Did you I don't know,
Uh
what changed?
I think I don't really know if anything changed. I think maybe my surroundings. So like I started picking up things in virtual, in remote. So maybe my peers around me affected my behavior in some way and made me like dumber, I guess.
Do you
Like
mean
not
like
dumber,
before or after? What do you mean?
like before quarantine. I think I was strongly affected by my peers. I would like constantly seek like attention, and I would try to be the class clown and stuff, and like my grades dropped because of that. And I also wanted like the prestige and like attention of being good at basketball, because I thought that would be like the pinnacle of living life. So I think quarantine humbled me and made me want to uh, pursue something more humble. 1 second.
All good. You
Okay.
good? I
Yeah.
will obviously cut that out so we can, we can resume. But uh I don't know, going off that then. Hmm. I don't know.
Okay. Um.
I don't think I have a good connection. Okay, so you said basically that your head cleared up?
Yeah. Not well. Yeah, kind of, but like, yeah. I think it was basically my head cleared up. Um. I also didn't have that much like need for attention, and basically getting good grades became like a game to me because like it was just numbers on a screen that I could um, improve based on how much effort and attention I put into it, just like any video game.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That takes a
uh,
lot of introspection to realize. I
yeah.
don't know, I feel like that's did you think about this a lot or was this like something that just clicked through you?
It was just something that clicked through me. I just realized the more attention and more effort I put into my grades, the better I could do. I think actually, now that I realize, what sparked in me was my eighth grade English teacher. I don't know if you had her, Miss Biss.
I did not, unfortunately. But
Yeah, but
I mean,
so Miss
not
Biss,
unfortunately. My eighth grade teacher, English teacher, was great, but I'm sure
yeah,
Miss Biss was wonderful as well.
yeah.
Continue.
Okay, so Miss Biss, she was like probably one of my favorite teachers ever. So, at the end, right before quarantine, she gave us this essay. It was like this literary analysis essay, and I remember actually trying on that essay, going to the library for a couple hours and working on it, and I actually got a good grade on that essay. And then I was like, "What the heck? I didn't know I could actually do well in this class." And then Miss Biss was like, "Yeah, Sid, you could do well in this class, and I'm proud of you because you did it, and not some strange mystic spirit." And she just like instilled into me like this feeling of accomplishment, and I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's something called the locus effect. So
Indulge me.
basically, I think the locus effect is when you do something good, that adds on. It gives you confidence to do the next thing,
Hmm.
and I think Miss Biff kind of instilled that into me and gave me that confidence I needed to succeed in my future academic career. And she also kind of taught me that the harder you work, the more successful you'll be in your academics and in life in general.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that goes kind of, I don't know, work and results come hand in hand. Not
Yeah.
always, but yeah, usually. Uh,
Yeah.
any bumps along the road? Any
Oh,
uh, any times where you thought, maybe this is not it. Maybe, maybe I can make it as a basketball star.
no, no, definitely.
Okay, maybe
That,
not that, but like any bumps, maybe like, oh, maybe,
yeah.
why do I have to be this standard, right? Why can't I do this or this, be a little bit more laxed or I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. There's many times where I'm just like, why do I have to work so hard? I'll just go to like a state university and then, get a job as like I've seen people who go to state universities and get like six-figure salaries. So I was like, why not just do that?
Okay,
Um,
before we move on, so I mean, as a student, I'm sure like, especially as a Livingston student, one of your goals is to get like into university, right?
yeah,
College, and then from there a job or maybe even further education, right? If you're going into maybe like a STEM field like medicine or maybe even like law and stuff like that, which take
yeah,
multiple years. But so that's your current goal in life. You're what you're working towards right now is just college, and then whatever comes
ba-
next.
yeah. Basically, I'm trying to get into like a respectable college, either in Canada, probably in Canada.
Why
Uh,
Canada?
well, first of all, I'm a Canadian citizen, so it's much cheaper. I think it's easier to get into a Canadian school than an American school. I think they prefer native like native born Americans when you go to American schools. So some prestigious Canadian school like University of Waterloo or University of British Columbia, one of
You're
those.
you're Canadian? I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm Canadian. I'm actually naturalized, so I was born in India, in South India, and then I moved to. Well, first I moved to America for like
Mhm.
a year when I was a toddler, and then I came to Canada. I lived there for like most of my life, probably like 11 to 12 years, and then I moved back to the states when I was like 14 or 13.
Interesting. I did not know that, but I don't know. It
Yeah.
seems like a really interesting past. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, but okay, that was kind of like a sidetrack. But going back to I think it was schools and like college and like okay, so right now you're working towards university and getting into a pretty good university, and then okay, so then why work so hard then? If you see yourself maybe going to maybe a university that's a little bit more average, or like a state university, all right, let's say, and then still being able to make it in life, right? Getting enough money to support yourself and support whatever endeavors you want. Why work so hard then? Why be or why work to be like maybe someone who is a straight A student or like a straight A minus student. Someone who is pretty pretty like top, I guess. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's
I haven't really thought about this. It's pretty deep, but I think going to one of these Ivy Leagues kind of exposes you to this wide range of successful people and like people with connections. I think that's basically what makes these colleges prestigious, is because you get these connections that you never would have received if you went to a state school. So I think basically the connections that you get, and also kind of just the prestige of going to one of these schools, like um, kind of proves to yourself that you can do anything you want in life. So it gives you that confidence as well.
mm,
And um, I think that's mainly what keeps me motivated to try to get into one of these schools. And also, the saying, shoot for the stars, and if you miss, you'll reach the moon. So,
I think it's the other way around, but yeah,
oh,
yeah. No, no,
uh,
no. It's
shoot
it's
for
it's a good it's a good it's a good it's a good saying either way, Like if you
yeah,
if you don't if you don't achieve greatness in one aspect of your life, if you work hard enough, you'll or like if you truly believe in yourself, you'll definitely make it in another.
yeah, yeah. There's no point in like I feel like life would just be too boring and like um it would just like not have this zest if you don't like try your best and try to get into like one of the best schools or try to do your best in any aspect.
Well, that's pretty mature.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people our age don't have that figured out. Maybe that's a good
Yeah.
thing, you know? They say, your years as a teens is one of the brightest years of your life. But then again, I feel like that saying is kind of I feel like it's only half of the story, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you enjoy your teen life or your okay, how do I put it? Basically, if you work hard now, you make it easier for yourself later on, or at least that's usually how it goes, right? Like
Yeah.
if you get, let's say, I don't know how true this is. Maybe I'm completely wrong here, but what I think is, if you get into a top college, like you said, you have all these connections, right? You have all these opportunities. You make it easier for yourself to get into, what you actually want to do, the job that you want, and maybe something that's a little bit more higher paying or has more power or more influence. And then so
Mm.
it's like you should enjoy yourself right now because then you don't have to worry about adult things down the line when you're older. But at the same time, you also kind of have to work, as a student. Like you have a job, right? Your job is to learn, and so I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
that's kind of. Do you balance the two things well? Do you think right now mostly you're just a student, or and then you're neglecting, maybe other things like as a child or as a teenager, with your social life, your even
Um,
like some people they study so hard that they ruin connections with their family, their friends, all these things. But I don't know. How do you
yeah.
balance it?
I think my life is just defined as a student. I'm not really anything other than that. That might be a problem, but I think it's also something that a lot of Livingston students are experiencing, given um, like this competitiveness, academic competitiveness to get into like the top schools.
Yeah, I feel like that's something we can get into maybe after. But I just want to ask, okay, then are you okay with that? Are you okay with just being defined as a student, as with working hard and just striving to get into university? Because I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of people aren't. And I feel like it's not bad, if you're okay with it, and if you think this is like really something you want to pursue, and college is like maybe your biggest goal right now. I feel like that's completely fine, right? To really kind of
Yeah.
sacrifice maybe a little bit of time spent with other things to really focus on studying and stuff like that. I don't know. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. I definitely. Yeah. I think um I this might come off as wrong, but um once you get into like the college that you want to, grades have less of I feel like they have much less of weight than in high school. So like the interests and passions that you had that were taken out by the time you spent focusing on your grades, you could put more time in that in college because grades have less weight in college because once you graduate as like a doctor or a lawyer, you're still considered a doctor no matter what,
Mm.
and you still have that degree.
Yeah, I feel like that feeds into the contradiction again, like how this is. I don't know. Maybe I guess I don't. Does life get easier as time goes on? I don't think so, right?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't
But
think so.
yet your actions now have such a big impact on, your future, your direct future, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe you'd still get the places that
yeah.
you'd get even if you didn't go to the top college. Who knows?
I think
That's life.
a lot of people that are like out of like their student life say that people focus way too much time in their high school career.
Yeah, but
Um,
currently, I don't know. As someone who's living in it right now, I don't see that. I think, you know, for me at least, the grade is all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Uh, so then, okay, the grade is all that matters. That's the Livingston culture, I think, right? Especially
Hmm.
among, people who do take all honors, who expect all A's of themselves, right?
Hmm.
People who take the APs. I don't know. Maybe that's like too much of a I don't know, like an elitist argument, like, oh, all these people, oh, we have such like a culture of success and stuff. No, but like basically, I mean, if you were to come in Livingston and to see the schools and to see how much people really did care about, the dynamics of success and failure in terms of their grades, I don't know. I feel like that definitely become apparent. But then saying on that, do you feel like this? you obviously have that expectation. You've kind of embraced that image, and so do you feel like that's more of internal, external? Does it come from, does this work ethic, does this goal come from internal motivation, external motivation? Maybe your parents, maybe your peers, or
So I think it's for me, it's a mix of both. I wouldn't be I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for my internal drive, because like I know that just motivation itself wouldn't have brought me this far. It would only be like drive to get up every single day, go to school, and do my best. But also, I think it's my peers that kind of peer pressure me into getting good grades. Um, it's kind of like a better way of using peer pressure to improve yourself. Like they always constantly push me and to do better every single day. Um, so it's both internal and an external. I wouldn't consider my parents really a driving force. They just let me be on my own, and if I get good grades and I don't get like arrested for doing heroin, they're completely fine.
okay, okay, good.
So, yeah.
Okay, so then being the person that you are now, academically, um, should I say spiritually, motivationally? I don't know. Being the person that you are now in terms of the kind of person you see yourselves as the work that you've put in, the motivation, and the internal drive. What is something that you would maybe tell your younger eighth grader self, or someone even your younger ninth grader self, younger 10th grader self who didn't who was maybe a little bit taken aback by the severity of, 10th grade, ninth grade, eighth grade even.
Um, that's a tough question. I would say, don't get too stressed if you fail, because that's like a natural process of living. I remember failing one of my biology tests in ninth grade, and I thought it was the end of the world. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Um, and like that just kind of dominated my life. It even like affected my mental health, which is not something I'm proud to say, but it did. So I would say don't take it too seriously, because you're definitely going to be able to recover from that. Because there's going to be thousands of other tests that you take. I wouldn't say like maybe like hundreds of other tests that you're going to take. Now, when I fail a test, um, I think that my mental health is much less degraded because of that, because I know I can recover, um, given the time and the effort. So that's something I would definitely tell my younger self.
Just to establish this, what do you consider a failure or like a failed test?
Like proper fail, like
Okay,
60. Yeah, not like an 80. I'm not crazy.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's the culture coming in again. People who
Yeah.
got like 80s saying, "Oh, I failed." Oh, I don't know, bro. U.S. history this year was such a like I don't know, like a slap in the face, dude. I got I got a grade that I've never even seen before in my life, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Wow, okay, this is what it means to fail." Not like, "Oh, an A minus, a B,"
Yeah.
Any questions you have for me? I mean, this time has been pretty much, I don't want to say dominated, but you've given a lot of insightful answers. Any questions for me?
Um, what inspired you to make this podcast?
I don't know. I feel like having okay, that's a good question. I don't know. This is something new I'm doing. I don't know. I never have people ask me questions, so I feel like makes things really awkward. But to really answer your question, I guess I like having conversations with people, and I don't know if that's all my life I thought of myself as an introvert, but I think especially over the course of the pandemic, just seeing how much I depended on having people around me, having people I can actually interact with, and even when that stuff doesn't happen, the moods that I get into, the kind of styles of life that I fall into, like not wanting to do this or this, unless it's with a friend or like without external motivation or interaction. Yeah, so I feel like not number one, but like that one facet of it would be just, simply interaction, and just like, even though this is over a screen, I think it's a little bit different than, maybe over text, over call. This I can see you face to face, and I can hear you, yeah, and I definitely want maybe to move this podcast more to in person, but given the circumstances, it's a little bit different, but and then another facet would just be, I don't know, I like seeing people's views on life, their experiences, and I don't know, I think I've gotten better at uh like achieving that goal. I don't know. When I first started off, I think the questions were a little bit here and there, and they still are here and there sometimes. But I feel like um, here maybe we can get more into things that are applicable to life, to everyone. You know what I'm saying? But also like yeah, I don't know, taking other people's experiences and just making them available for other people to take and use for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like just
Yeah.
having, because I've had a variety of different people, and even today I think just even from just talking with you, just to see like that the drive that you have, I don't know, it's inspirational, I would say, especially with like the locus effect. I think I've definitely experienced that in my life, where you have something good, maybe your first video gets a couple hundred views, and then you make another one, but then
Yeah.
viewership goes down, and so you take a break for like half a year, but then you come
Yeah.
back. I don't know. I like this kind of stuff, but sometimes it is a little bit hard to motivate myself to keep going. But
Hmm.
yeah. Anything else?
Uh, I don't know. Uh, do you feel that Mr. Cuneo has inspired you in any way? Because I feel like he's inspired me for sure.
I would say so. Okay, I guess to give context again, we mentioned him in early on in our discussion, but Mr. Cuneo is actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I think I am. I think I am.
Yeah.
As long as people doesn't know like who exactly he is. But Mr. Cuneo, just think of him as your generic history teacher. But yeah, I would say he definitely inspired me. I think just his style of teaching is definitely a step up from what I've seen in the past. I mean, overall, I think my history teachers, especially like male ones, I don't know, is that sexist? Uh,
No, I don't.
I don't know, but I feel like,
I,
I don't know, maybe male ones just have that like vibe. You know what I'm saying? Uh, okay. In eighth grade, I don't know. I had Mr. Rynan.
yeah.
Um, he was,
I,
I think, one of
you.
he's like a stark contrast to Mr. Cuneo, but somehow both of them get the job done in the same way. One is
Mhm.
like super relaxed and loose, but still somehow he finds a way to really motivate his students to do things. Maybe it's through his lack of like restrictions, or like just telling people exactly what to do and allowing them the freedom to do things. But on the other side, just also Mr. Cuneo, whose dedication and um, I guess like leading by example, and how he really does expect improvement from people, and so he will push them definitely to do things right, and he'll give up examples of what is good, what is maybe a little bit weaker, and then definitely help you with your corrections, give you pointers here and there. And even then, in his teaching style, I think he's super.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
say
like super.
talented, but he's good. He's a good
He's
teacher.
he's like. I feel like you can tell that he's been doing this for a while. He's very passionate. Um, he you you can tell he's passionate, and also, um, he I'm like inspired by how he lives this like humble life
Mm.
as a history teacher, and how he's like completely content with his life, helping students and changing lives. So that
So is he your inspiration? I don't know, I feel like you
um
have. Maybe that's weird, but like I don't know. You focused on him a lot, which is not a bad thing. He's definitely someone who warrants the kind of respect, and
yeah,
but
uh, yeah, definitely, he's one of my inspirations in life. Uh, I've also like kind of considered just taking history and becoming like a history major, and then just following Mr. Cuneo's path and like, teaching students and um, just enjoying that lifestyle, like this simple, humble lifestyle that Mr. Cuneo lives. Because I honestly don't think, as long as you're happy, um, and you're doing what you love, um, any career path is viable.
And another thing I think that's pretty important that he pushes in his classes is to not focus on the grade, to
Yeah,
focus on your own achievements and improvements and progression rather than meeting a certain mark. Because that mark, it's standardized even though it's not fitted to each person individually. I think it's
yeah,
their motivation to improve that really, you know, grants someone either satisfaction or maybe someone who feels like they could have done better.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like U.S. history honors feeds to that locus effect. Like, if you do good on this MC, you have confidence that you'll do good on the next MC because you know the thing that you did to study for the last MC will work this time. So, there's definitely that, and I also think he supports this growth mindset. Like you can always do better, um, no matter where you are. So, that's also
This
pretty
has
good on,
turned into an ad for
dude.
U.S. history. And this is like the course preview day video. Just like past U.S. history student talks about uh, the benefits of this course. But yeah, I definitely understand. Um, do you think there's an anti-locus effect?
An anti.
Like you do bad, and so that like I think definitely right. I feel like that's inherently something that exists. Like you do bad, that hurts your confidence, you just do bad again.
I remember when I talked about failing that first biology test. I wasn't certain that I would do well on the next one, but I did. But I was like so scared of failure that all of my confidence over the past few months of taking biology just drained out. Even though I was like generally an A student.
Hmm.
So yeah, I definitely think there's a negative locus effect.
How do you get out of that?
Uh I would say just break through your fear of failure and succeed. That's like all I can say.
That was
And if you
generic.
fail again, then just keep trying for success and never quit because once you quit, yeah, it's over, basically.
That's a pretty generic motivational quote, but it was
Yeah.
good. It was good. It was good. I think it's true. It's definitely true. So then, on that note, I think that's a good note probably to end on, unless you have
Mhm.
anything else you really want to touch on. Not
Not
really.
really.
Okay.
I will say that I really enjoyed this time talking with you. I thought it would be more awkward, but it turns out it was more like therapeutic.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
I
That's a good thing. That's something I strive for.
yeah, I think this podcast was really fun to be in. So I thank you for allowing me to be a guest here.
Yeah, no worries, bro. If you ever want to come back, you know,
For sure.
I'm not overwhelmed with guests who want to be on the podcast, But yeah, I don't know. It's good
Yeah.
to have people on, especially from all different. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how like raw I can be with my words, especially on like a public setting. But all the people that I've had on so far is basically Chinese and my friends. So it's like
No.
I
Yeah.
don't want to put you as like someone who's maybe like that one guy that's like diverse, that brings diversity. But like no, I know. I think it's definitely good to see into like get a look into all of the different aspects of
Yeah.
life in the community. Yeah, I don't know. I think it went pretty well. So then on that note, I think we can close this out.
Yeah.
So thank you, Siddarth, for or
Well,
Sid for being on the podcast. And I think today went overall pretty well. I think. Yeah, went by pretty fast.
yeah,
Look
for
forward
sure.
to watching this back and editing it.